Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us is Chris Rivolo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. We got Alaninos, Razowacki, David Racy. We got Wayne Scott and Big Al McMorty. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Ruffalo, Mitch, McMorty, Scott, Eno, Zawacki, Lane. We'll sign a bit later on in the show. Racy, and then I will close this one out. All right. Our last big card here from the NBA before they hit the break. Still got a 3-game card tomorrow, but 10 games tonight from the NBA. Lots of college hoops, 6 from the NHL. So let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffalo. If I'm over at Pick Dogs Premium, catch him every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time here on the channel with that morning show. Also part of the Puck Dogs video series with those NHL videos popping up every day. So make sure you guys check those out as well. He's joined by Rod Zawacki. Bringing Chris right now. Chris, how you doing?
Tony, I'm doing all right. You know, like you said, last big card before the NBA All-Star break. Man, it's going to be nice to at least get a break from something for the next few days. But I know once we get back to next week, it all starts back up again. So I'm just taking it for what it is.
That's right. No doubt about that. All right, tonight got a good one here. CBS Sports Network, Marquette and Xavier here. Marquette 6.5-point favorites, total 160.5.
Yeah, Tony, this matchup just really kind of stood out to me. Just based on what it is, it appears to be a high-scoring game between two teams that like to just play offense, not necessarily worry about defense, and just worry about outscoring the other team. But the problem for me in this one, I think, is 160.5 is just a bit too high. We saw an even higher total in the first meeting this season. That settled at the closing line around 163, and it still finished 80-76 in favor of Xavier. I'm not saying that we're not going to see a high-scoring game here, but I think the script is going to play out exactly the same, where you're going to see a game where both teams finish in the high 70s, but that's not going to be enough to put us up into the 160.5 range. Take a look at the last 5 games between these two teams. Marquette scoring 76.6 points per game, allowing 69.4, and even Xavier scoring 79.4 and allowing 77.2. It doesn't take a math major. I mean, if you want to pull out a calculator, you can, but those numbers aren't numbers that combine up to get to 160. So I'm going to take the under 160.5 here. I like this down to 159. I think it's just going to be, like I said, a higher scoring game, but I think, once again, this total has just gone too far. So give me the under.
Yeah, 160.5 is well great. We've seen some movement since the graphic was made. We're seeing even some 159s pop up, and these are some of the really sharp books. The sharpest book in the world now, 159.5. So as one of those, someone knows something, or basically, as they said, a big game here. Looking at the offenses being defended here.
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't been I would say anything different between these two teams. I mean, the under, despite what you would think about these two teams, like I said, still 3-0-1 to the under in the last 4 meetings. And you're still seeing, games that, 80-71. The second meeting last year finished 75-64. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just going to be one of those games where there is going to be a lot of scoring, but not as much as this line, I think, would indicate. So that's why I like the under in this one.
I go under in this one, 160.5 right now. We've seen a lot of movement here in this one here within the hour. The game here will have a start time here of 7 Eastern Time, CBS Sports Network. All right, Chris, let's go over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Showing great results in the NHL here, 1,668 units of profit from the NHL. The All-Star breaks behind us now. Full cards now coming up here from the NHL. 6 games tonight, 10-game card from the NBA. Lots of college hoops as well from the big conference down even to the minor conferences. Big West as well in action. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, telling you, full transparency, it was a rough day yesterday, so it takes the good days, the bad days, to appreciate the good ones, and I'm coming back strong today. Got 5 plays on the board total. I got my $15 NHL power play, my power play of the week. I love this play that I have on the board tonight. Also got a college hoops 3-pack as well. This is the time to hop on long term. Normally when we have one of those bad days, we come back strong over the next few. I think that's going to be no different here. It's time to hop on a 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, all the way up to a year. Whether it's just with me or you're pairing me up with someone else, part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. Some of the best value going on over at Pick Dogs Premium. You just have to go over there and check it out.
That's right, guys. Get aboard with Chris Ruffalo over at Pick Dogs. When you see the great results here from Chris in the NHL, 1,668 units of profit up there tonight. He has his NHL power play of the week here. $15 premium play. Credit guarantee must turn a profit. The amount you purchase is credited back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Also in action with a 3-pack here from College Hoops. And of course, instead of buying these plays individually, now is the perfect time to get that 1-month all sports pass from Chris. Get all Chris's premium plays here for the month. You'll get his NHL and his NBA here for 30 days. But the college basketball covered in this 30 days is the remainder of the regular season. All of the conference tournament action from College Hoops. Also, NCAA tournament now is in this as part of this 1-month pass, because you'll get the play-in rounds as well as the 16-game card on Thursday and Friday, because the 30-day All Sports Pass expires on that Friday. So tournament action here with that 1-month All Sports Pass, because remember, there's only 3 weekends left in regular season College Hoops. 2 weekends for the smaller conferences, because conference action comes right away. They extend the NFL season that extra week, so that means that we're closer and closer now to the beginning of March Madness. So this 1-month All Sports Pass, the first 4 play-in rounds, as well as that Thursday, Friday 16-game card is covered, as well as any of the minor conference tournaments. So a good time to get that 1-month pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great work. And we can catch you right all mornings every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time here on the channel, as well as the Puck Dogs video series with you and Rod Zawacki.
Yeah, Rod took a couple days off, but he's back with me now. We're doing the hockey videos again. We shot them this morning, so we'll have those up for you very, very soon. And yeah, you can catch me all over. My face up plastered all over this channel. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. Who knows? But still loving all the work we're doing at Pick Dogs.
Well, it was just you and Mitch for a while. We've seen a lot more people on the channel over the past few months, right?
Yeah,
sharing the stage.
Yeah. Hey, I'm for it, man. Great, all the more, great cappers popping up on the channel, doing some great work. You got all these new video series popping up. The rundown. You got Jovan doing parlays, Alan Wayne doing a parlay video as well. Just if I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry, but like you said, Tony, tons of great action, tons of great content on the Pick Dogs channel.
That's right, on the Pick Dogs channel, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications when these shows go live. You go live with them. Get the plays in real time to get the best numbers. All right, Chris, have a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take it easy.
Yeah, Chris Ruffalo here on the drive through. That's right, guys. The tournament is coming right up. I had to look at the 30 days and wait a minute. We're already now into the NCAA tournament with that 1-month All Sports Pass. Time certainly flies. Of course, they extend that NFL season 1 week, and we're bringing Mitch right now. And yeah, it's not too far away, Mitch.
No, February is the shortest month, so it's less time to wait for March Madness. That's the way that it works. It is we are close. You start looking at these schedules, and it's like some teams 5 games left to go in the regular season. Yeah, no doubt about that. And tonight, a team that wished their season was over, that's Louisville. They're at hosting here. Virginia. It's been a tough year for them on ESPNU tonight. Virginia laying 16 total sits 127.5. Yeah, Louisville, I think it's time they change their name to the Delta Devils, except Mississippi Valley State actually has better numbers than Louisville does this season, including 1 more win, which would be 33% more wins than Louisville has this season. So, Louisville just absolutely stinking up the joint. And I think, one of the things that they don't do well is play defense, and the other thing they don't do well is play offense. And that's a miserable combination, when you're trying to play in the ACC. And while a lot of people will say, because they look at the POM rankings or something like that it's a down year for the ACC, I say tell that to some of these teams that they're going to be facing in the NCAA tournament, a place where the ACC showed last year in another down year that they dominated the NCAA tournament, and I expect it to happen once again because they have teams that are built for NCAA tournament basketball, and Virginia is one of those teams. And that Virginia lost to Miami, and I'd say North Carolina, who went to the final last year. You got Duke. Pitt looks very good. Wake is going to be in there. Clemson might even surprise some people, but there's a lot of good ACC teams, and I would not be looking past them. But one team that's not a good team, that's Louisville. Like I said, comparable stats to Mississippi Valley State this season, especially in that defending of the 3, where they allow 35.9% of their opponent's shots to hit the bottom of the net from three-point land. Ironically, the exact same number that Mississippi Valley State allows. So they're just not D'ing it up. And, of course, they're playing against different levels of competition, but nonetheless equally as effective in the win-loss column, when it comes to that sort of stuff. They're actually worse from the floor when it comes to shooting percentage. 349th in the nation, 47.3%. So this Louisville team, while, I know a lot of people out there said, oh, they're getting big numbers, they can't lose forever, they're not going to get beat up, whatever. Oh, they're going to get doubled up tonight. They are going to get absolutely crushed in this game. This Virginia team smells blood in the water, and I tell you, there's a team that you don't want to be betting against in mid-February and early March and late March. That's the Virginia Cavaliers, who play suffocating defense, have strong guard play, and can hit their threes like no one's business. All the magical combinations for a great tournament team. And to be honest with you, I think there's going to be at least one ACC team in the Final Four, if not two, and maybe even more than that, because, we see some, I just don't understand how people can say it's a down year for the ACC and then turn around in the same sentence and call the Big Ten the best conference in America. What a joke that is. I'll tell you what, I'll put up Virginia against any team in the Big Ten, and that includes Purdue. And, I think that you put Virginia or, put up like Miami or Virginia against any team in the Big Ten, I think they'll smoke every single one of them. I think, like I said, I don't understand it. I just don't understand why they keep catering to the Big Ten and, saying it's a down year for the ACC when, on the court, we're seeing something totally different. Maybe it's because Louisville's bad. I don't know. Louisville just a few years removed from hookers and blow and, the great recruiting tactics that they had. And that's probably part of the problem. They let Chris Mack in the door, and we knew that was a problem. But UCLA's winning with Mick Cronin. So it's certainly possible for anyone to, go in there if you have the right recruits and you kind of, maybe take a step back and do it. But, Louisville, they're going to have to bring in a heavy hitter. And my suggestion is, is my guy, Ed Cooley. And I appreciate the Valentine's Day present that Providence and Creighton gave me yesterday, because they love me, and that's 10 extra minutes of Cooley.
Yeah, that was a great game last night there. Of course, Mitch here on Virginia laying the 16 against Louisville. You look at Virginia, a team of quality losses, Houston, Miami, and Pittsburgh. Also throwing that Virginia Tech on the road there. So, they can make their case if they continue piling up these wins for a top seed.
Yeah, the loss against Miami was at Miami, and that's a place where plenty of teams have lost this season. I just don't understand the down ACC talk when I do believe the top of the ACC and the middle of the ACC can hang with any conference out there. And like I said, last year we saw it. Miami played Kansas in the NCAA tournament. They had them dead to rights. They had them down by 20. Let the fish off the hook. And then Carolina had Kansas dead to rights as well. It was a great Kansas team. You can't take anything away from them. But at the same time, both those teams proved that they could play with the big boys. And I expect to see the ACC make another run. We're going to be cashing like crazy as everyone's humping those Big Ten teams.
Yeah, those Big Ten teams. I think a lot of the respect comes from their out-of-conference games. They do schedule tough in the out-of-conference. You see them a lot in those high-profile games. In those November, December.
I understand they schedule those big out-of-conference games, but part of that is winning those games, and they didn't necessarily do that. And to me, that's part of the problem. I mean, who did Wisconsin? Oh, they beat Stanford in overtime or something. I mean, and they played, in one of the more competitive games out there. But what about Ohio State? And they're out of conference and then going to Hawaii and getting busted up. I mean, it was like the Mike Tyson versus Mitch Blood Green fight, 3 times in Hawaii. And, you look at Ohio State, just absolutely stinking it. I mean, that Wisconsin-Michigan game last night set the game back, 10 years of college basketball, which looks more and more like, you're seeing better athletes because, there's now with the image licensing, the college players make more than the pro players, at certain levels. So there's incentive for them to stay. And that's why you see guys like Tshiwe staying at Kentucky because he's making more money than he'd make on his rookie contract in the NBA. I mean, when Florida's paying a high school quarterback $23 million, to sign, you can only imagine what some of these NBA players playing in college are making right now.
Yeah,
because the schools will not release these numbers, so they're absurd. I mean, the schools are not forced to release what the image licensing numbers are, and they're not giving them out. So they're absurd. The only one that I've heard recently is the $23 million that the kid out of high school was getting from Florida.
Yeah, and I think the ACC here is getting shots here because, you got Duke, an 8-loss team, North Carolina, a 10-loss team. We're seeing Florida State down, and, of course, Notre Dame not playing well this season.
Oh, I understand that, but we saw Miami go and knock out Auburn from the NCAA tournament last year, and we saw North Carolina go all the way to the finals last year. So neither of those teams were highly seeded, and Auburn was a team that went to number 1 in the nation last year and had one of the highest drafted NBA players on the team. And Miami beat them. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it. I mean, the ACC certainly has represented well, and even Duke, who did not have a great team in Coach K's final year, I believe went to at least the Sweet 16, if not the Elite 8 or beyond.
All right, Mitch here on Virginia lay the 16 against Louisville. This one begins top of the hour, ESPNU. All right, Mitch.
This is going to be a beatdown. This is going to be bad. Louisville, not one of the good teams.
No. They're almost 300 in the palm rating, 295. They're just basically hanging on in the 200s, but not too far.
Palm ratings, but look at some of these other palm ratings. I mean, this is part of the problem. This is not part of the solution. The palm rankings are part of the problem.
That's what a lot of people use.
This is the issue. Are these palm rankings, and why? Virginia's 14th in the palm rankings. How about this? I'll put $100 against St. Mary's, who's ranked 7 slots ahead of them in the palm ranking. St. Mary's is an imitation Virginia, not as good version. Good luck, Good frickin' luck in that one. And some of these other palm rankings, I personally watching the teams on the court over the past week, who's been the best team this past week? It's Houston, Alabama, UCLA. Those are the 3 best teams. They have that right. UCLA to me is a Final Four team right now. This is that Oregon game. That first 7 minutes of the second half against Oregon is the most impressive thing we've seen in at least over the last 2 or 3 weeks in college hoops. I mean, Oregon couldn't score a point on them.
No, that's a tough.
And that's with Mick Cronin coaching.
Yeah,
and that's how good they are.
Yeah, that's
with Cronin coaching. They allowed 0 points in the first 7 minutes of the second half on the road. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's a tough spot there for the Bruins. They got it done. You got to give them their
West
respect.
Virginia's 21 in these palm rankings. Auburn is 18. Iowa State, who's been really not very good recently, is 17th in the palm rankings. This just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Boise State is 28th, and Miami, who beat this Virginia team, is 32nd, who also beat Duke by 30-something. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They just won at Carolina, which I don't care. Carolina's ranked 38th. Florida Atlantic's 37th. I'll take Carolina in that one. I don't see it, It's like these palm rankings don't make any sense. This is how stupid the palm rankings are. And yeah, I've used that word, stupid. How about this one? Ohio State is 51st in the palm rankings. Oklahoma 54th. Pittsburgh 55th. I'll lay 10 points with Pitt against Ohio State tomorrow. It's like that. I mean, that's absurd. Missouri is 5 slots behind them. USC ranked behind Ohio State in the palm rankings, and Michigan, who beat Ohio State, head up behind Ohio State in the palm rankings. I understand it's just data and all that stuff.
And it's seasonal ranking. Wrong. It's seasonal ranking. It doesn't take into account, it takes into account heavily for obviously the non-conferences in here, strength of schedule, all that factors into this.
Strength of schedule is off. That the problem is that they're rating these Big Ten wins as strength of schedule when they're not. These are lousy teams they're beating. They're terrible. They are terrible. Ohio State is 1-9 in their last 10 games. In that Michigan State game at Nationwide, they should have fired the coach right out on the court. It's like, when is that acceptable in Columbus, losing like that? I mean, if it was a fight, they would have stopped. What, they have 12 points in the first half? A dozen, Georgia scored that in the first 3 minutes of the national championship football game.
All right,
I personally don't understand the palm rankings. I know I'm not as familiar, but I'll just say that Clemson at number 80, I'll lay the 30 points against Ohio State at 51. There has to be something wrong. VCU is 83rd, in those palm rankings. Boise is 28th. How is that? How is this even close to being correct? I'll take VCU by 6.5 in that one.
Yeah,
I don't know. Are the rankings do they not mean anything? I don't really get it. Maybe someone can explain it to me. Maybe we'll get Romanelli to explain it to me. But how do you have Ohio State at 51? How do you have West Virginia at 21, and then have VCU in that spot? And Clemson at 80. You have VCU at 83. You have Nebraska's at 94, but Clemson's at 80. I mean, those two teams are not even close. Butler is 108th here. So when you get into that 90s and 80s and 90s, it's like I don't see it. But anyways, man, it's always the POM rankings, I think, are pretty off and meaningless.
There you go. Or Mitch. All right, Mitch, what's happening over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place as we get closer to March Madness?
Well, we totally lost focus on the show this morning, so I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just going to say that's what happened, and for some reason it's like we start getting into it off topic, and we always just the wheels come off the cart, and that's pretty much once we're in that direction, it just takes that little nudge to get going downhill. I'll blame Ruffalo since he's already gone, so he's not here to defend himself. Other than that, at Pick Dogs, we have some big changes and some little changes going on. All of them are going to be good changes. One of the changes will be the format of the morning show. Another change will be both website redesigns. Those should be out within the next week or two. We have changes among our YouTube channel, and I'll also be doing my TikTok props that I've been doing exclusively on TikTok. I'll also be releasing those on YouTube as YouTube Shorts. And some of the other stuff, I might even do Dog of the Day as a YouTube short as well. That's on Instagram these days. So a lot of different things, more than we have time to talk about here, but all exciting things. And I just want to say that I'm just really, my Facebook memory was, 3 years ago, I got Sports Chat Place back. And, right after that was the pandemic. So I just want to thank everyone who's stuck it out with us and who's helped us become part of this community, whether you've been with us for 15 years, like Tony and me, and whether you've been here, 8 years or 9 years, like Chris and the gang, are newer, like David, who was with us, and then he left and then he came back. He didn't go anywhere else. He just left. Life happens, right? And he left. He came back, and we're happy to see him. I'm glad to see that he's doing the shows with you, and whether you just today's your first show watching or your millionth, I just appreciate all the support and all the feedback that you've given me, because we're only here for you guys, so it's like that feedback, it often helps. And of course, except for the Ron Romanelli working for Vegas, he did go 2-3 in his premium, in his free video picks yesterday. So of course he must work for Vegas, even though he was 3-0 in his premium picks. I just had to throw that in.
There you go.
Romanelli, he works for Vegas, Tony.
I know. He
went 2-3 in his free picks.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's on the. He's.
I don't know how he looks at himself in the mirror personally. Don't let that 3-0 premium fool you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He works in Vegas, and I'm not talking about the Ben and Jerry's at Casino Royale, because it's not there anymore.
No, it's not. No. Maybe get him in the tech department at William Hill. That might help.
Some of these places could use a lot of help. I know that much. So I'm excited to be out there. I'll be out there in the next few months. So hopefully I get a chance to see everybody. I always run into a lot of you guys out in Vegas, and everyone always stops by and says hello. It's funny. It's never the trolls, it's always the people that are the big fans. So
that's right.
I'm excited to see all of you. I'll bring a bunch of Pick Dogs gear for you.
That's right, guys. Check it out. Mitch will give you information there when he's in Vegas, and say hello to everyone there. All right, Mitch, have a great week. We'll catch up next week.
All right. Sorry to all the other cappers for taking so much time. Enjoy yourself. I appreciate all you guys. We have the best cappers in the world. I'll put them up against anybody on their mediocre day. No minus 230 money lines at Pick Dogs, talking about your 4-game winning streak. You know, we saved that for the other sites out there, and I don't want to mention names, but it rhymes with major cock. Anyways, have a great day.
Have a great day. Mitch here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, we'll continue here on the show. Let's bring in next up is a Big Al McMorty. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Pim, putting up some fantastic numbers. He's been on absolute fire here on the site. Top unit producer of the past 2 seasons. That was entertaining. Big Al, how you doing?
Yeah, I can't stop laughing.
We know.
Anyway.
I thought this stuff happened in baseball. The minus 280s. They're already starting early.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, your Spurs are in action tonight.
When I sent it in about an hour and a half ago, the line was +7. It's now +5. So we're dealing with a shorter price, but I'm still going to take San Antonio. One of the tenets, as you know, Tony, of my handicapping philosophy is to take points with bad teams and not lay points with bad teams. And today we've got 2 very bad teams playing each other, the San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets. The Spurs have the 2nd worst record in the league. They have the worst scoring margin. They've lost 13 straight. Meanwhile, the Hornets, they just snapped their 7-game losing streak. They upset the Atlanta Hawks the other day. But they still own the league's 4th worst record at 16-43. They also have a terrible point spread record. They're 24-33 with 2 pushes ATS, and now they're favored by 5. I just don't like taking bad teams when they're favored. I don't like taking bad teams off wins. One of the reasons they're bad is they typically don't put good games, together back to back. And in this game, Charlotte's laying points and it's off a win, so you get the double whammy. And if you take a look at going back to 1990, teams with a win percentage in the NBA below 285 in the second half of the season, they've covered just 34% if they were favored off a win, and then they've covered just 24% if, in addition to that, they had a point spread win percentage of 500 or less. So I'm going to take San Antonio here. I think the Spurs snapped their losing streak tonight.
All right, Big Al here on the Spurs +5.5. One of the reasons we saw this line move is the starting guard here for Charlotte, Terry Rozier, will not play. 21 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists. That's your line move right there.
Yeah, a lot of guys out for the Spurs as well. Langford's out, Trey Jones out, Roby out. Vassel's been out for a while. So yeah, it's just not a lot of talent on the court tonight.
No. It's been a while there for our buddy over there, Pop. They got to hit something in this draft next year. Something's got to happen.
Yeah, something will definitely happen. This is a big game for San Antonio. I mean, obviously they're going to try to win, but I hope they don't. I hope they can, because if they lose this game, then they're 3 games behind Charlotte with like 25 to play, and it's pretty much they'll wrap up on the the lottery, the top 3 in the lottery.
Top 3 in the lottery. Absolutely, that's what you're looking at there. Spurs +5.5 here against the Hornets. This one has a start time 7 Eastern time, right, Big Al? Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Print, where you've been on absolute fire here. We see the units here: 2,578 units of profit last 3 days. That is all documented over at Pick Dogs Print. You can verify those numbers by going to Big Al's handicapper page and go down to pick history. You'll see all the plays. Take a look at Saturday's game. Saturday's result was amazing there. All right, Big Al. Last big card before the All-Star break in the NBA. 10 games from the board NBA. We got 6 in hockey, lots of college hoops as well. What's happening over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, the best play for me in the NBA was San Antonio, but it wasn't good enough to be a premium play. I passed in the NBA today. I passed in hockey. I have 3 plays in college basketball, including a conference game of the year in college basketball, going for our 5th straight conference game of the year winner. I think on Saturday we had our Southern Conference game of the year winner there. With the Citadel, they covered as a 15.5-point underdog. So, okay card today in college, but nothing I liked in the NBA or hockey. And I'm sure I'll have, folks know me. I'm not shy about playing games. Typically on Saturdays I'll have 15 to 20, but today just 3, and I'll probably have a lot more tomorrow and Thursday. That's
right, guys. Got to work with Big Al over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here over the past 3 days. 2,578 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. A big NCAA conference game of the year up there right now. Credit guarantee must win, or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee from Big Al. Also, Hoops High Roller as well. Instead of buying all these plays individually, you can look at Big Al's 1-year all sports pass, or the 1 month. The 1 month will get you all of Big Al's premium plays here for a month here, 30 days. NBA, NHL, of course, college basketball. This will take you into the NCAA tournament with that 30-day pass. You'll get the all the conference tournaments, the NCAA tournaments, the first four, those play-in games, also the 16 games that are scheduled here on Thursday and Friday. The NCAA tournament is also part of that 30-day pass. Actually, that Friday is when it expires. So that's the way to roll here. With the one month sports pass there over at Pick Dogs Premium. Use the promo code PICK at checkout and you'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Big Al, it's always great having this show. I love hearing Walter bark when you have the dog. Have a great night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Walter's going crazy. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. That might be a money line on the Spurs tonight, the way he's rolling. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive to Big Al. I know Ron is. You better believe Ron's been tracking that since day one. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive to. Next up is Wayne Scott. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. We won the contest over at Pick Dogs, Become a Capper contest. So let's bring in Wayne right now. I think we're ready to roll here with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T?
It's happening. All right, here we go. We're going A10, one of the conferences I like. Duquesne here to host St. Joe's. Duquesne's favorite here, 6.5 total, 149.5.
Yeah, we got Duquesne against St. Joe's. This Duquesne team is coming off a 3-game winning streak. They're going for their fourth win, trying to get it against the St. Joe's team. Last time we seen Duquesne out, they were going against St. Bonaventure, another mid A10 team, and they squeezed by that one. They only won 56-54. It was a tough game for them. They were at home like they are today, and they only got a 2-point win in that one. This Duquesne team is 6-4 in their last 10 against St. Joseph, so they got the upper hand in that. Stat-wise, as far as these two teams, they kind of match up pretty good. Duquesne being a little bit better in everything. They shoot the 3-ball way better, but besides that, stat-wise, they kind of stack up evenly on defense and pretty evenly on offense. St. Joseph, they coming off back-to-back wins. The last win was a 81-69 win over George Washington. I was on them that game. They were -4, and they whooped butt. They were missing a good big man they had. He's supposed to be coming back today. Caper Klezak, he's still questionable, so check that out before you jump on this. As I mentioned, both of these teams are coming off a win, and off a win ATS-wise, Duquesne is 7-9 on the season. Off a win ATS-wise, St. Joseph is 9-3 on the season. St. Joseph's averaging 72 points, but the last game they put up 81. The few games before that, they've been doing a lot better job with scoring. I'm not really the big revenge person, but Duquesne beat St. Joseph already this year on St. Joseph's home court, 92-80. They jumped out to a 60-44 point lead in that first half. Pretty sure that their coach gave it all they had in that locker room, and they came out that second half, battled a lot tougher, and I expect them to come out in this game and battle a lot tougher, have that in the back of the memory bank, and come out here and cover with that +6 that they get tonight.
All right, Wayne says take St. Joe's +6.5 against Duquesne. As a matter of fact, when you look at St. Joe's since that loss to Duquesne, they've covered every game but one. They've been on a big cover streak, has this St. Joe Hawks team. This is a team that used to be really kind of a bad team, but they started to turn things around for their a little bit right now. And what we're seeing here from St. Joseph's is that we're seeing a little better defense. There are some areas where they're shooting the ball. Some of those losses they're still covering in some of those games. At the game at George Washington in 92-91, but they did cover that one.
Yes, sir. I'm agree with you with that defense. I've been liking their defense. The offense is getting a little better, but I think they struggle when they can't rebound. So if they rebound here this game and they come out and shut Duquesne down with that 3-ball, I really think they got a good chance to get the upset. Both of these teams are mid-Atlantic. They're both probably thinking the same thing. Let's get a little push for this tournament and see what we can make happen.
That's right. Close out strong the way they've looked here. They played well here down the stretch with winning here 7 of their past 9 games. We got Wayne here, St. Joe's +6.5 against Duquesne. This one has a start time here, top of the hour, right? Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a 10-game card here from the NBA, as well as 6 on the ice. We also have a big card here from college hoops as well, showing great profit over the last 7 days, 670 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going on over at the site?
I got my NBA best bet NBA game of the day today. I got that singled out, and then I got a 2-pack for y'all guys. I got a lot of action. I like 10 games a day. I got 5 in college basketball, 4 in the NBA, and 1 in NHL. I got a 3-pack with 1 NHL, 1 NBA, and 1 college basketball. And for those that just like basketball, I got 3 NBAs and my 2 college basketball best bets all packed up in there for you. Look for my long-term plan, guys, and you'll get on these lines early with me. And pair me up with one of these guys on the leaderboard, and let's get some money this weekend.
That's right, guys. Got him on board here with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs. You see the great results here. 670 units of profit last 7 days. A 3-pack up there. Make it rain Wednesday with that 3-pack right now from Wayne. Credit guarantee, affordably priced at $36. So get on board here with his Make It Rain as it gives you a best bet here from NHL, NBA, and college hoops there on the board. Also in there, game of the day from the NBA. A lot of these plays sold individually. Also a 5-pack here for NBA and college basketball combined. But again, instead of buying these plays individually, the 1-month passes we've been talking about is a great value right now. As you know, you get all of Wayne's premium plays here for 30 days on that 1-month all sports pass, all the sports handicaps in NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Remember, the 1-month all sports pass will take you all the way to the opening round of the NCAA tournament. You get the play-in rounds as well as that Thursday, Friday first round games here. Remember, we're getting really close to it. Just a couple more weekends left for the minor conferences, 3 weekends left for the majors. Then we get into conference tournament action, and boom, here is the NCAA tournament in front of us. That's part of that 1-month pass. So get on board, use a promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Wayne, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But of course, we want to mention your video series with you and El Nino's, that 3-legged prop parlay video of the day.
Yes, sir. We're loving that video, man. Hopefully we can deliver a winner. We've been 2-1 a lot of times. We coming close to that 3-0. Sabonis killed us with 1 rebound, but stay tuned, man. Look at that video. My man Al gave out a plus 550 yesterday to hit. So, man, it's definitely cash to be made on those videos.
That's right, guys. Check it out with Wayne and Al Ninos. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
All right, y'all take care, Pick Dog family. Got
it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Guys, a lot of people sign in. If you miss a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Speaking of El Ninos, he's next up. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch him on that parlay video every single day with Wayne Scott with that parlay, 3-legged prop parlay video of the day here on the channel. Let's go ahead and bring in El Ninos here right now. I think we're ready to roll. El Ninos coming to us here from the Skype world. I think we're ready to get to him right now. El Ninos on Skype. Al, what's happening?
Oh, pretty good. How are you doing, Tony?
All right, here we go. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern time. Celtics home to the Pistons. Celtics 12.5, total 227.
Yeah, now quickly becoming the biggest favorites on the board. The Celtics are with the news that Jason Tatum is confirmed in the lineup. Marcus Smart, Derek White confirmed in there as well. Still no Jaylen Brown, though, and a couple other guys on that injury report for the Celtics. And they are playing their second game in 2 nights. Obviously, Tatum didn't play last night, so he should be good to go and have himself a big game. Same goes for Smart. But again, Pistons just, I think, getting a few too many points here. And not only the full game, but I'm starting to like even the first half a lot with these numbers shifting a little bit. They're getting 7 points in the first half. I like that one maybe even better than the full game. But when all is said and done, these Pistons are still 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 meetings against the Celtics. They're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Boston. So I guess they like to put up a little fight against these Celtics, and I think they're in a good situation to just at least keep it close with rest advantage. So taking the points with the Pistons, and again, looking at that first half as well.
Yeah, El Nino's here on the Pistons, plus 12.5 here against the Boston Celtics. Celtics in a back-to-back spot. They used, remember, their second unit. A lot of them played a lot throughout that overtime periods last night here. So there's some concern here about the Celtics bench coming in. As you could tell yesterday, the bench is a very important part of the success here for this Boston Celtics team. And don't forget, not too long ago, this is 2 days of rest here for the Pistons. They were in this similar spot. I won't say similar because the Nets had a longer road trip, but Brooklyn got pounded here by Detroit because Detroit came in rested against a team that was in a back-to-back. That was the Brooklyn Nets not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, back when I used to play back-to-back wasn't a big problem. I know the older I get, the more I can kind of relate to these players not wanting to play as hard on back-to-backs. But again, these are athletes in the best shape of their lives. Me, not so much anymore. But I don't think these guys should have a problem. They're professional athletes. I don't think they should have a problem playing a back-to-back. Unfortunately, it is the case. These pros do not like that situation. Some less than others, obviously. And I just think whether it's a back-to-back, even if on equal rest here, I'd probably look at the points rather than lay them. So just a lot of points here.
A lot of points here. Pistons plus 12.5 here against the Celtics. This one to have a start time here, 7:30 Eastern time. Already on Nino, so let's take over at Pick.com for tonight's action here. So a good profit over the past 7 days. 6 on the ice. We got 10 from the NBA. Lots of college hoops. What do you have going on over at the site?
Got a 3-pack in the NBA, 3-pack in the NHL, a couple of my best bets sold individually as well. If you want to grab a long-term pass, I have a couple extra plays there as well. So make sure you grab one of those or the 2-for-1 capper specials.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with El Nino's over at Pick Dodge Prim. Good results over the last 7 days. He has an NBA three-pointer up there. That's his featured play. Credit guarantee. Must turn a profit. The amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee right now with El Nino's on that NBA three-pointer. NHL hat trick up there as well from El Nino's plays sold individually. And, of course, instead of buying the plays, we talked about the 1-month pass. You can get on board with Al for 30 days with that 1-month pass. Get all of L's premium plays here from Placey Handicaps. That would be the NBA, NHL, and college hoops. Remember, the college basketball with that 1-month pass takes you right into the NCAA tournament, into the first 4, into the Thursday and Friday first round where there's 16 games scheduled each night. All the minor conferences, all the conference tournaments are covered. We are right now in the stretch run here in college hoops, so get on board with that 1-month pass. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Al, as always, great having you show. Remind everybody about your video series, that 3-legged prop parlay with Wayne.
Yeah, it's looking like that 3-leg might be a 2-leg tonight with that line shifting on the Jazz game as well. It looks like Markkanen late add to that report was one of our pieces, so that line shifting, the late add doesn't look good for Markkanen. But if he does play, it still will be a 3-leg, and again, you can always play them individually or play that 2-leg parlay. Make sure you go check it out after you're done watching the show. And smash the like button here, smash like the button there.
That's right. Markkanen questionable. Yeah, knee questionable. So smash the like button here, smash the like button there with Al Ninos there on his video series. All right, Al, have a great night. Catch up tomorrow.
All right, have a good one, Tony.
Al Ninos here on the drive through. Let's continue on here, guys. We'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned. Time for Rod Zawacki. He's been good to us here on the drive through. Rod, what's happening?
No, not too much. Just watching the show, here in the bars, here in the lights.
Yep.
They're like everyone wants a like, we get a like, and then we got the dog barking. So 11 and 2, and Walter's barking, and Big Al's on dog. So I'm definitely gonna be putting a bet in on that one.
That's right. On the dog tonight. Might be his first. Might be Rod's first on the Spurs this season. But anyway,
it might be. It might be.
Angle's too strong.
Walter talked me into it. Walter twisted my arm. I definitely. Thanks, Walter.
Angle's too strong. Have to. All right, here we go tonight. OKC Thunder home to the Rockets. The Thunder 9.5, total 234.5.
We look at this game, and these teams just met not too long ago, 11 nights ago, and holy man, did we see some scoring in that one. OKC won at 153-121. That was the third game this season between these two teams. And look at your ones earlier this season. It was 118-105 for Houston, 112-106 for Houston. Both of those well under the total. I'm going to say the 3 before that were about the same. We all scored in about the 220 mark. And you look, OKC, they've been scoring above their average, averaging 123 points over their last 3 games, and that's well above their number. They average about 119 at home, while the Rockets average about 109 points on the road this season, and that number keeps us under the total. I'm going to say that last game was definitely a track meet anomaly, and we're going to go under this total. This is the way it usually ends between these two. The previously 6 meetings before this last one where they scored 174 points, all 6 to the under. We're going to go with the under here in this one tonight.
All right, Rod says go under. Rockets and Thunder under. It's not going to be that craziness we had in that last game. 150, although I know past 5 games here. This is interesting here. Thunder giving up 55% shooting, and the Rockets 53%.
They have, and but look at Houston's offense. They're averaging 110 points, and can they score 140? Yeah, they can if they go off, but I just don't see it. I think we come back down to earth and get a normal type game where it's the Thunder who are 7-3 in their last 10 versus a team with a losing record to the under, and the last 7 meetings 5-2 to that under. So we're going to go with the under. That one that did go over, the total was 217, and that one went under. So.
I will say this: unlike
70 points,
unlike football, unlike baseball, and unlike hockey, Thunder can't go over themselves, right?
No, exactly. They definitely can go over themselves. So they're not the Harlem Globetrotters here.
That's right.
Hoops, and we're getting 200 points just from the OKC, maybe.
All right, we got Rod here. Rockets Thunder under 234.5. This one to have a start time here of 8 Eastern time. All right, Rod, what's happened over at Pick Dogs Pim tonight? We've got NBA on the board here. Our last big card before the All-Star break. 10 games on the board. Great results here the last 7 days. 765 units of profit, all documented. NBA on the board. 6 on the ice, as well as college hoops. What do you have going on over the site?
Yeah, definitely. Hoops has been good to us. 22-10 in the last week has been the hoops. So I've got a 3-pack in college basketball. 12-5 the last 17 of those. Scoop that up. You have 3-pack there. I've got my solo play in the NHL. I love tonight. $15 NHL sniper. Scoop that up. Or my solo play in the NBA. My drop a dime play. We hit it yesterday with the Clippers. I got a nice play there for making some money. So jump aboard. Grab a 3-day pack. Grab a 7-day pack. As you can see, we've had a nice week. Let's continue making that money this week as well. That saves you money. By instead of buying packages daily, grab a week. Grab my 1 week gold card and jump aboard. I'm hot.
That's right. Get on board with it. Rod Zawacki over at Pig Dogs. He's got his NBA drop a dime play. $25 credit guarantee up on the board right now from Rod Zawacki. He's got his NHL sniper at $15 credit guarantee. And, of course, lots of a 3-pack here from College Hoops as well. But instead of buying all these plays individually, that month pass is perfect right now. Get off Rod's premium plays here for 30 days. All his NHL, all his NBA. And college basketball will cover you remainder of college basketball regular season. All the conference tournament action. The first 4 play-in games here is from the NCAA tournaments covered. Also, round 1 is also covered because that 30 days expires that Friday when those 16 games go off here in college hoops in the NCAA tournament. So all the minor tournaments as well. That 1 month pass, a perfect value right now. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off at a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. To that success, we can catch you in the mornings and also your video series with Chris, the Puck Dogs.
Yeah, definitely check those out. Like, subscribe. That way you get notified when the Puck Dogs go. Those videos get released and you don't miss out on any of those plays. And definitely tune into the morning show. This morning was definitely lit as we went crazy. A little bit off the rails too, as Nick said. We just went a little bit, but sometimes we do that. Sometimes we head down this way, and we just continue going down that road.
That's right. I love the carnival. I love the carnival.
Good times. We got some winners. We had some good times. We went over some music knowledge, songs that I totally forgot about, and songs that I didn't even know even existed. So.
Looking forward to some more of those carnival hacks. Those carnival hacks that you guys have up there.
Right, I had it all lined up, and we completely got all sidetracked and ready to go. I had it all lined up and was ready to talk about it, and we completely got sidetracked. So we'll have to save that for either tomorrow or Friday. So
that's right. You're going to tune in because you got to get those Rod's carnival hacks. You got to win those stuff out. He'll tell you how to win and tell you which ones you can't win. There's some that you can't win. I'm sorry to say. So there's no doubt.
It's just too rigged that you're not gonna. It's something job that you're gonna just be just that way.
That's the way it is. That's it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Have yourself a great evening, Rod. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
Definitely. Have a good night, Tony.
You got it. That's right. Let's bring that home. Let's bring him in. Rod here on the Rod Zawacki here on the drive too. Let's continue on. Rod rubbing those hands. He's ready to roll. He's got that plays hot right now to get that Spurs play home. Let's continue on here on the drive through. Next up is Dana Lane. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Prim. Great college hoops production here from Dana. Also in the Las Vegas hockey media as well. Dana, what's happening?
I do know that the carnival game is clearly the one where you're shooting the darts at the balloons. All you have to do is hit the balloon squarely. Everything else is complete garbage.
That's
why
right.
the worst part are that game. So it's been a crazy day today because, of course, the Oakland A's rumors are heating up once again. We'll see what happens with that. And Rob Manfred basically has come out and said, "Hey, look, this is gonna." We have no interest in staying in Oakland.
No.
I mean, if you're just kind of reading between the lines, I mean, he wants to come to Vegas. I think it's really just a matter of location and money at this point. And hopefully everybody here has their fingers crossed that that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of space to do it. I always find space in that city, right?
Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about space every time they're walking over to the Raiders Stadium, and they wonder why they didn't build it a mile up the street where there's plenty of space for the stadium and for parking. But that really just came down to a financial decision and the sale of the land, which the stadium obviously would increase how much money they would get with the sale. So that was part of the deal, and that's why they kind of jimmied that stadium where it is.
That's right. All right, Dana, tonight we go to the ice here. Oilers here hosting the Red Wings. Oilers 240, total 6.5.
Yeah, this numbers crept down a little bit this morning. I was very surprised. It wasn't quite the Toronto $6 favorite, which, by the way, is only the fourth time in NHL history there's been a $6 favorite. All three, check that, fifth time, all four of the previous games have won. So if you want to lay $6, that's up to you. But the number has come back a little bit, and Edmonton has been getting some of the afternoon money around noon. That came back to its opening number and increased in Edmonton's direction. And, to me, I look at this game, and my good friend Bob Stauffer, who covers the Edmonton Oilers, put this tweet out, and this really solidified what I thought about where Edmonton is. And I think Edmonton is the best team in that Pacific Division. I think they're going to prove that as the season goes on. And, of course, after the deadline, let's see what happens. A lot of rumors out there about them picking up Erik Karlsson. In fact, there's some outlets that have reported that an offer has been made. And, of course, if you follow Edmonton Oiler hockey, you know that probably the portion of their team that they really would like to shore up is that back end. And they're going to have to move some money around to do so. Perhaps Puljujärvi is going to be part of that deal. But Edmonton is a team that I think is definitely the most dangerous in the Pacific Division. It's just nobody else to me has shown that kind of consistency, including the Golden Knights, who after their 13-3 start are basically a 500 hockey team. But Stauffer put out this tweet earlier reminding everybody in Edmonton's last 11 games, they're 9-0-2. That's number one in point percentage. They're number one in goals scored, tied for second in goals allowed. So that means they're putting the puck in the net. They're playing well. Or playing well defensively, and I don't mean goals allowed in a negative way, goals allowed in a good way, 2.27 over that period of time. Also, they're first in the power play and first in the penalty kill. You put those numbers up, Tony, it's very difficult to go against a team that's showing that kind of surge. And I wrote a column this morning for another outlet, and I said, hey, look, the one thing I want people to realize as they move forward and as we go past the trade deadline is, yeah, you know what? Seattle's had a fantastic run. And if you look at how good they've done against the money line this year, people would say, oh, well, they're a definite bet on team. Well, make sure to always kind of take that number and kind of crunch it down to the last 2 or 3 weeks. I use the last 3 weeks because I want to know what a team is doing right now. And right now, the Seattle Kraken are a go-against team. As far as a go-with team, the Edmonton Oilers by far are the hottest team in the league, and we're going to go with them tonight, minus the 1.5, even money against Detroit. And also keep in mind, even though they haven't been very good defensively, there's nothing more that gets bottom pairing guys more motivated than hearing that they might get moved out or their playing time will diminish or there'll be active scratches. So I think Edmonton's going to play well tonight, and I just don't think that Detroit, who basically got the last 40 minutes in their last game a week ago, they got boat raced by the Oilers. That's going to happen again tonight. Edmonton's going to win this game easy.
All right, we got Dana Lane here on the Edmonton Oilers. Take them on the puck line. Lay the puck now plus 100 here against the Red Wings. And of course, I was talking to someone earlier about the division here, and they like the Oilers winning the division.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Listen, with Thompson going out for the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm not going to lean on Brissois to come in and pick up the slack for the Knights. And I have being very close to this team, I still don't know what their identity is. I know they're the number one team in the division, barely right now, but I still don't have a clue what their identity is. And again, we've talked about Jack Eichel coming in and, people expecting him to be a 90, 100-point guy. He's never done that in his career. He's not going to do it in Vegas. And with Mark Stone going out of the lineup, that was huge. That was a big loss. That was a piece of their soul going out of the lineup. So we'll see what they look like after the deadline on the 3rd. I'm sure that they will be very active as you can be, as they're completely abusing the salary cap, as are most teams at this time. But Edmonton seems to be, as far as trajectory is concerned, the Oilers are certainly pointing up more than anybody else in the Pacific Division.
All right, we got Dana here on the Oilers, the puck line, lay the puck in half plus 100 against the Red Wings. This one has a start time, 9:30 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's go over at Pick Dodge Print, where you're doing great work here in college hoops. 1,165 units of profit in college hoops. That is all documented over at Pick Dodge Print. Big card from college hoops tonight, 6 on the ice, 10 on the NBA. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
3 games left in college basketball, starting at about 30 minutes, 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time. 3 games are up there, and of course we've taken those 3 games, we put them in a package and said you must profit on these 3 games or you get an immediate site credit, which seems to be pretty popular. So we've had that, and really we're sticking with college basketball as much as we can because it's been extremely profitable, and we've been consistent over the last 3 months. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's the direction that we're going to kind of go in the next couple of weeks.
That's right, guys. Got to work board with Dana Lane over at Pick.com. See the great results here in college hoops. 1,165 units of profit, all documented. Check it out over at Pick Dodge Premium over his pick history. You'll see the plays up right now. A 3-pack from a Dana College Hoops credit guarantee. Again, must turn a profit. The amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Individual plays up there as well from Dana. He's really locked and loaded here for today's card. But again, instead of buying these plays individually, we talk about the 1-month pass. Perfect here. 30-day all sports, 30-day all sports pass. All of Dana's premium plays here from NHL, NBA, college hoops. Remember, the college basketball 1-month all sports pass will take you through the conference tournaments. The first 4 rounds the first 4 playing rounds of the NCAA tournament, as well as that Thursday and Friday 16-game card each night there. So there you go. With that 1-month pass, use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Dana, it's always great having the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Tony, I wish you the best. Let's make some money. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Dana Lane here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We'll get to David racing just a little bit. I just want to show you my pick because it starts at the top of the hour. The line has moved in this game because of the news here, I believe, on DeRozan. But I still like the under here in this one between the Bulls and the Pacers. It's not 230. It's not 238 or 232, 233 where it was overnight. Right now, we are seeing movement to this one, the 227. It's been a big line move here with the news here on DeRozan doubtful, Caruso doubtful as well, Miles Turner probable. But again, the Bulls cannot hit a 3 on the road, and the Pacers' offense has not been very good. They can't even hit a 3 at home. So you got 2 teams struggling offensively. That's who I'm going with in this one. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Fortunately, we've got David Racy up next, and he's got a game that starts at 9 Eastern time, so we'll get to him right now. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, he's been on with Mitch talked about. He's been with Mitch a while. Came back very good writer on the site. Of course, always like bringing the writers in because they'll be well researched. We saw his first appearance was very good here with his handicapping. We'll bring him in right now. David, what's happening?
Not much, just looking forward to the games this evening.
Yeah, indeed. And here's one tonight on Big Ten Network is Northwestern here hosts Indiana. Indiana 2.5-point favorites on the road, total 134.
Yeah, we head to the Big Ten, which I know Mitch just spoke so highly of. But yeah, Northwestern at home today, home dog. I'm going to roll with them. They've won 3 straight. They beat Purdue in their last game at home by a few points. I know they were losing for most of that game, made a nice comeback at the end. But Northwestern's defense has really been the story of the year so far for in the Big Ten. They're only allowing 61.9 points against per game, and they've only allowed 63, 58, and 52 points in their last 3 games. Northwestern is also 3-1 straight up in their last 4 home games. When looking at Indiana, they've also won 3 in a row. These 2 teams are tied for second place in the Big Ten. But if you look at Indiana's last game, they played Michigan, beat them by 1. And truly, they probably should have lost that game. Michigan went scoreless, I think, in the last 5 minutes, and they only won by 1. So probably should have lost that one. The previous road game that they had, they lost by 11 points to Maryland, and they're only 3-3 in their last 6 road games. So not great on the road. They're not shooting very well on the road. 43%, 37%, 41% in their last 3 road games, and that's probably going to be lower with Northwestern's defense. So you're looking at some trends. Indiana 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 road games. Northwestern 6-2 against the spread in their last 8, and 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games against a team with a winning record. So Northwestern very good against the spread against good teams, and I like them at home here.
All right, we got David here at Northwestern plus 2.5 here against Indiana. This line has moved from 1 to minus 2.5 here for this Indiana team. Northwestern getting more points tonight. I think people are looking, people love these streaks, right? How Indiana's won what looks like they won 8 of their past 9. And of course, some folks that look at the stats numbers will see that Northwestern, 4 losses on the home court this year. And then I find this hard to believe they're shooting just 39% at home.
Yeah. They're offensively they've had issues, but I'm banking on their defense in this one. Like I said, Indiana not great on the road lately. I mean, they've won some games. Like you look at, they played at Minnesota, right? Minnesota's horrible this year, only won by 4 points. So they've had some issues away from their home arena, and I like Northwestern here.
Yeah, some tough non-covers at Maryland and at Minnesota. We got David here, Northwestern plus 2.5 against Indiana. This one starts here at 9 Eastern time. All right, David, let's take a little red pick dog for tonight's action. Of course, tonight showing great results over the last 7 days. NBA card, we have 10 games on the board, 6 on the ice. Huge cards from college hoops. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything tonight. I have a 5-play college basketball card, 3-play NBA card, and a 3-play NHL card. NBA and NHL have been very successful over the last week or so. Only 1 losing day in the NHL over the last 7 days, and only 1 losing day in the NBA over the last 6 days. So definitely check those out over at Pick Dogs Premium. Looking to win again tonight.
That's right, guys. Get on board with David Racy over at Pick Dogs. We show the great numbers here the last 7 days, all showing profit the last 30 days is David over on the site. So get on board tonight. NHL 3-pack on the board, $39. That's his featured package. That is credit guarantee. You must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Or again, we talked about this all show long, that 1 month pass, 30-day all sports pass, all of David's premium plays for 30 days, his NBA, NHL, and college hoops. Of course, college hoops, which you covered for the remainder of the regular season, as well as all conference tournaments, these play-in rounds from the NCAA tournament. And of course, the first round, those Thursday, Friday games, we have 16 games a night. That's when it expires that Friday. So lots of coverage here from college hoops with that 1 month pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, David, as always, great having you show. Get to keep up that great work here over at Pick Dogs, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow or your next appearance.
You have a good night.
You got it. David Racy here on the drive too. Let's continue on here with the coverage. Something's awry with my software here. We'll see what's going on with this as we continue on here on the show. There we go. I think I had hit the tick. There we go. We got it corrected. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. That's now you got my picks. So let's go ahead. Let's get right to the recap here of tonight's show. Of course, we saw that big movement there in that NBA game tonight. with that Pacers and that Bulls game move. Let's get to the recap here. I think we'll be ready for it here in just a second. Here we go. Let's get the recap up here. All right, we start here with Chris. Chris like Marquette Xavier under 161. Mitch was on Virginia, laid the 16 against Louisville. Al McMorty, Spurs plus 5.5 against the Hornets. Wayne was on St. Joe's plus 6.5 against Duquesne. El Ninos, the Pistons, plus 12.5 against the Celtics. Rod, Rockets, Thunder under 234.5. Dana here, Oilers, puck line, laid the goal and a half, plus 100 against the Red Wings. David was on Northwestern, plus 2.5 against Indiana. I'm on the Bulls Pacers under here, the 230. And of course, this one's going to be 227.5 now with the news here that looks like DeRozan. Let's get that. We'll get the information for you right here on this game here. We got DeRozan doubtful, Caruso doubtful, Miles Turner is probable here for this Indiana team. Let's give you an update here on the injuries for tonight. People are asking about LeBron. We'll get to that in a second here as they have a game tonight here against the New Orleans Pelicans, and he's been listed as questionable for most of the afternoon. We'll see if we can get an update there. And last check, it still looked like he was questionable tonight, but let's get the let's get the refresh here as we're just about a few minutes away from tip-off time for the first game tonight. We'll start off here with the game here between the Bulls and the Pacers. Ball, DeRozan, Dragic, Green, and Jones out for Chicago. Thies out for Indiana. Spurs and Charlotte. Burks, Jones, Langford, Roby, and Vassell out for the Spurs. Martin, Oubre, and Rozier. Rozier is the late addition. That's for the reason for the line move. He's out for Charlotte. Knicks and the Hawks. We've got Mitchell Robinson out for the Knicks. Atlanta, a clean injury report tonight. Detroit and Boston, Bagley and Noel out for Detroit. And for the Celtics, Brown, Gallinari, Kabengele, Muscala, and Williams out for Boston. Miami and Brooklyn. Brooklyn, a clean injury report. On the Miami side, Harrow, Jovic, Lowry, Oladipo, and Yurtseven out for Miami. Let's get to Cleveland and Philadelphia. This is the big one tonight. We've got Osman and Rubio out for Cleveland. Korkmaz out. Embiid is still showing as questionable. We can now confirm Embiid in the lineup here as he had a questionable tag for most of the afternoon, but he is confirmed here in the starting lineup is what I'm seeing here for Embiid tonight here against Cleveland. But we'll see if we get an update. Well, actually, it's confirmed lineup. Harden, Melton. He's good to go Wednesday, so that's the latest update on Embiid. Embiid will play tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, let's look here at this Rockets and this Thunder game. We got Porter out for Houston, Pakovetsky out for Oklahoma City. Jazz and Memphis, this is the one to keep an eye on. We got Adams out for Memphis. On the Utah side, we have Gay and Westbrook. They're both out here on that side. Let's go over to, and as Markkanen. Markkanen is a questionable status here right now here for Utah. So that's the question mark there is Markkanen tonight. All right, let's go to Dallas and Denver. We got on the Dallas side, a laundry list here. We got Bertans, Hardaway, Kleber out, Wood, Irving, Holiday, questionable. Bullock is probable. That's on the Dallas side. So Irving, the question mark tonight for Dallas in this one tonight against Denver. Doncic is in the lineup. Denver, we have Gillespie, Jackson, Najee out. Gordon and Murray are both questionable on the Denver side. Pelicans and Lakers. We've got McCollum and Nance questionable. Daniels, Liddell, Williamson out. On the Lakers side, we've got James questionable and Davis probable. So there you go. So the ones to keep an eye on here is the McCollum status for New Orleans, as well as Murray and Gordon for Denver. Kyrie Irving, questionable status. Christian Wood, questionable status there for the Dallas Mavericks to keep an eye on. Markkanen, definitely keep an eye on with Utah. So those are some of the players to keep an eye on as we get closer to game time for the later games tonight. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru, guys. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers in from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place, and they will give out their plays for you in live for you here on the show for the Thursday card. Don't forget to get started every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the morning show. You've got Mitch, you got Rod, you got Chris, and all the great video series here at Pick Dogs. The morning show, we talked about Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Also the Betting Tools show. We got the Puck Dogs with Chris and Rod with those hockey videos. Ron Romanelli's bank shot breakdown, college basketball plays from Ron Romanelli. We also have Jay's rundown from the NBA, a pick from every game on the board. Also on the channel, the video series, including Al Ninos and Wayne Scott with their three-legged prop parlay video of the day, as well as UFC show on Thursday, UFC tomorrow. Remember, Mills and Brad will immediately follow our show here on Thursday with their UFC show, so make sure you guys tune into that one. So we got all the video series covered here. Don't forget Javon's parlay as well. So we got them all covered. And they're growing by the second here at Pick Dogs. That's going to do it for our show. Let's bring in our crew from night. Wait, goodbye to you guys. You guys have a great evening, afternoon.